G'day guys, how you doing? Welcome back to a brand new video. Thanks for watching, thanks for being here. I just wanted to jump on quickly before this video starts and just say that this was the gnarliest 35 hours of my life. It was definitely the biggest adventure that I've ever embarked on. And while I tried to do my best to document everything as raw and as open as possible, there were moments when the fatigue and just the weather got the better of me, and when I should have had the camera out recording, I felt like I was hanging on for dear life, quite literally. So I'm gonna throw some voiceover in here. I'm probably gonna have maybe some talking head shots just to help describe the situation a little bit better so you understand what we went through in this insane 35-hour adventure into the Western Arthurs in Tasmania. Good morning. We're hitting our last adventure here in Tasmania. It's going to be a big one, about a 40k, maybe 1 to 2 day return. Just see how we go. We've just registered. We're just making our first steps onto the truck. Prepare for a big one. The next few days are going to be insane. So as we start this epic adventure, I just wanted to give a bit of detail on what we're about to put ourselves through. So the end destination is a place called Lake Oberon. From the trailhead, it's roughly 20 kilometers with about 1,500 meters of elevation gain standing in front of us. We're hoping to get there today. However, there are multiple campsites along the way if we were to get stuck and have to do it in 2 days. The overall plan is to try and be out be in here no more than 2 nights and get out and get back to Hobart. Time just went 8:30. I don't know how long this is going to take us, but today's going to be a big one because we really want to make the full distance today. Ticked off the first 5k in pretty good time. Got through that in like an hour. But the land's already changing. It's getting very swampy, very muddy, and it's really slowing the pace down. So trying to keep it high when we can. Dan's doing a good job at that. But this mud is going to be quite relentless until we start climbing the mountain, I'm pretty sure. Whoa. Yeah, it's probably a good spot for it. Gonna fill up the water bottles. Oh, there's some fresh running water through here. I've just ticked over 12 Ks, and I think that's going to be the easiest part of today. So far we're looking 12 Ks, 2 hours 48. We've got 8 Ks to go to the lake. I think it's going to be fucking hard. Very hard. That's been all flat. I know we've got a lot of elevation to get through. which is about to kick off right about now. It's a real knock to the confidence when you smash out 13k real quick and then you just hit this ridge line and your pace just almost goes to zero. It makes it very challenging. Look how dirty I currently am. We've just gotten up onto the top of the ridge line. I couldn't even tell you exactly the elevation or anything, but I can say we've done 15.37 Ks in 4 hours 23 minutes. Now we're hoping from here on in it's just nice traversing, but I don't know how hopeful I should be. I think it's still going to be pretty hard, and we still got gonna have a bit of a slog ahead of us. Don't know how much you can see down that pathway down there, but there's a campsite down there, and we've just been sitting here at the top wondering whether we should just go down there and spend the night, but we're going to keep pushing. We've probably got like 3 more hours to go on top of the just over 5 we've already done. Got about 5-ish hours, 5 and a bit hours still left of daylight, so I think even if we do take it nice and steady, which we will, we should get there in plenty of time. And I think tomorrow we'll appreciate getting all the way to our final destination. We can wake up there for sunrise rather than this lake. I once heard this saying that the hardest hike you've ever done is the one you're currently doing, and that couldn't be closer to the truth today. This thing is just insane. Like, you've seen the landscapes, it's just relentless. We thought we're out of the mud, and we've just been slodging through mud up here on the mountain, and now the proper traversing has begun, because we're scaling up and down rocks and fuck. This is a hell of a hike. I gotta say, This shit proper makes you question your why. And if you don't have a strong why, have a long hard look at yourself, I think. Because that's what I've been doing for the last 45 minutes. I feel like I've been in such a dark place. We really don't have much further to go. A bit more of a cliff bar. I think that's helped perk me up. And also running into some other people out walking as well. Just makes it a little bit more comforting, you know. So there's a bit going on, and I have next to zero energy at the moment. Dan's basically the same. He's just over there. Yeah. View out there. So we walked like 23k today. With it doesn't even tell me how much elevation because I don't have internet.
It was like 1500.
At least 1500 meters of elevation gain in like 20k's. It's fucked. We were going to go down to the camp, but it was like another hour down to the camp on some pretty, like, I guess, treacherous terrain, which would be all good, but we want to be up on this ridge for sunset and sunrise, so we've decided to plonk our tents up here. The wind's already howling. It's going to be a sleepless night. I don't really know what else to say, to be honest. We've decided we're just going to spend the night here. And we're just going to try and get out tomorrow. So we get back to Hobart, just back into like a bed or something without the stress of trying to get out the day after, because then we'll just be very short on time. It's going to make tomorrow a huge one. I really wish I could be showing you guys some epic stuff right now, but the weather doesn't really look that good, and I cannot be fucking bothered getting out of this tent. Like, I've got warm socks on, my boots are wet. Like, I'm not putting boots back on this afternoon. It's just, yeah. It's a big day. It's an absolutely huge day. What was actually the craziest part of this whole trip was that we made it to the lake in one day. We hiked 24.8 kilometers, climbed 1700 meters in elevation, and walked for 10 hours and 2 minutes. No wonder we were absolutely wrecked. We told ourselves as long as we saw Lake Oberon in clear skies, we were going to be content. Little did we know, the photos we'd already taken that afternoon were the only chance we got to see the lake in good weather. There was no sunset, and there was certainly no sunrise. As night fell, it got colder, windier, and we tried to close our eyes and get as much sleep as possible, knowing we had to walk out the exact same way we walked in 10 hours' time. We woke up to some bloody horrible conditions this morning. Wet weather gear's on. We've just packed up camp. Hands are so cold. We're going to try and get out of here today. It's going to make navigating fucking very hard. I think we'll be right. We're just gonna push. Fuck. First few hours are gonna suck, and then we'll get off this mountain, and then we're gonna last push back to the car. Let's do this. One thing I couldn't record on our mission out of here was the backwards waterfall. As we moved across the ridgeline and started rock climbing this particular section, we found ourselves scrambling up a waterfall. It was so slippery and the wind was so strong it was blowing our pack covers straight off our packs. That was the tame part. What we were also witnessing was as the water fell off the ledge and came in contact with the howling wind, the water literally did a 180-degree turn and went back on itself, straight up, defying gravity. Something I've never witnessed with my own eyes. Some of these winds start to die off. It's very treacherous. In a few of those spots, I couldn't even film. We were just blown so hard by the wind, we couldn't even move. Keep pushing. We're slowly but surely making our way down. And very, very slowly coming out of the weather. You can actually start to see like the ridge line down here. And then we can actually see a lake in the distance, which is kind of where we need to get to. Oh, it's such a relief to know that this weather's lifting.
We're just walking out of it really. Like 15 minutes up that way.
Holy. It's clear. Isn't that a sign of relief?
We've been seeing like probably 5 meters in front of us for the last 3 hours. At least like 17k to go out there. But the scary shit's done.
We keep charging. We are machines. I honestly can't describe how good it feels to be off the mountain. That's basically it done, even though we have 13k still ahead of us through the swamplands. But it's such a relief to not be going through the shit that we went through this morning. We now have like 7 hours to do this 13k, which won't take us that long. Oh, we're nearly out of here. Yoo-hoo! The vibes really ain't that high. This section out of here has to be the most mentally challenging. Every bit of my body hurts. I'm scared to take my shoes off and look at my feet. And it just feels like it's never ending. And this is all happening as we approach 6 hours total hiking time for today. Oh, crap. I think we have like 3k to go maybe. I felt like we've had 3k to go for hours. This is tough. The end is getting pretty darn close. Just check the map. It's like 100 meters, 200 tops, back to the car park. This is a very painful last few k's. We're nearly there. It's so close. That's it. We are fucking done. Didn't think I'd get out of there. Oh, we did it. We have completed it. Well, what an absolutely insane adventure that was. Basically, as soon as we got into the car, I stopped recording. We were just way too buggered to continue on. We just needed to drive back into Hobart, get a hotel, and just lie in a bed, because that was the first bed we had after 2 weeks of sleeping in tents. That hike ended up totaling 47 kilometers return in 35 hours with 2,400 meters of elevation gain. By far the biggest thing I think I've ever done. Not I think, that is the biggest and hardest thing I've ever done. All in all, we saw Oberon in clear skies, which is what we went there for. And this is kind of like the one and only picture that I got from that whole hike. Have a look. Now I want to leave you with one last little video. Graphic warning here. This is a few hours later once we got back to the hotel. Dan takes his shoes and socks off and we have a bit of a look at his feet. We self-diagnose it as trench foot. I think if we're out there any longer, in the mud and water any longer, it could have been very bad for both of us. So I'm going to leave Dan's details down below because he's let me share this video with you guys. So go and follow him. Follow my Instagram. Yeah, heap more videos to come. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate you coming along on this huge adventure into the Western Arthurs in Tasmania.
Look at that. That's what happens when you walk 50k through mud and water. Like, that's actually fucked.
Cut.